Hello guys, what's up? I'm back with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing something completely different. We're not going to be reviewing any Doctor Who story. Today we're going to be going off topic from Doctor Who. We're either going to go off topic from sci-fi and drama. Today I'm going to be reviewing my first ever horror movie on this channel. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm not really a horror type of guy. I don't generally like horror stories a lot. I'm not one of those people who likes to go to the cinema and be freaked out by horror movies. I'm not that kind of guy. But I was requested to watch a certain horror movie requested by my own head chef at work, and he suggested this movie to me, and I was wondering, will I enjoy this movie? And so he gave me the box set, and I was truly freaked out just by looking at the box set itself. I could just sense that kind of element of fear and horror about this movie, not even watching it, just feeling the cover, just have that imaginary feeling of fear in your mind that this movie does feel really scary. And then just before watching it, just seeing all of the actors' names, I didn't really recognise anyone apart from one person who I'm going to get onto a bit later on. But the movie that I am talking about today is a 1976 British-American supernatural movie called The Omen. The Omen is an absolutely old school classic horror movie. If you have not seen The Omen, then what have you been doing? If you like old school horror type of movies, then The Omen is one that you should definitely watch. This movie is an 18, so it does contain some strong language, but also some very strong violence as well, some great horror as well. But my initial thoughts before even going into The Omen, I was expecting to get frightened and to be freaked out by this movie. And then after the movie, when it finished, I absolutely loved it because it was amazing, but also it was horrifying and exciting as well. I think that the writing is absolutely superb, as well as with the acting and the direction as well. I do have the list of writers, actors and supporting actors in this movie on my phone. This movie was directed by Richard Donner, and he went on to direct the original Superman movie. It was produced by Harvey Bernard, written by David Snitzer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but also the music is what my head chef loves about this movie. He absolutely adores the music. Produced by Jerry Goldsmith, who actually won an Oscar for the Omen theme tune. It was absolutely a horrifying soundtrack, and I could just feel, just by listening to the soundtrack, the horror, dark and evil elements about this movie. The music was just excellent, and I think that the movie is carefully written well. It's been taken with care, and I see a lot of development with this movie, along with all of the actors and actresses who appeared in the movie, all elevated this movie to become something better, and it made the movie a true atmospheric but also spine-chilling movie, and it certainly scared you. There were a load of death scenes where you went, oh! All of those moments where there was a bloody scene, and I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it for you, but if you have not seen The Omen, then I highly recommend you go and pick up the box set of The Omen. Now this box set, this is actually not mine. My head chef actually lent me his copy. I haven't even watched all of the other movies. There are other movies in this box set, like there's a second movie, there's a third movie, there's a fourth movie, and then there's a 30th anniversary special in 2006. I've only watched the original, and I'm only going to be reviewing the original today because I absolutely love the original. I haven't seen the other few, and I'm wanting to experience the rest of The Omen because The Omen The Omen is absolutely sensational. It's absolutely golden horror at its best. The story is taken with absolute care. It drags out the story very, very well. It's a very serious storyline played by amazing actors and acting performances from like Gregory Peck, who plays the leading role, Robert Thorne, as well as with Lee Remick, who plays Catherine Thorne as Robert's wife. But also we have actors like David Warner, who plays a photographer who acts very suspiciously in the movie, but also Harvey Stephan, who plays the kid Damien. Now I want to mention Damien's character, his child's character. Damien is not actually the real villain in this movie. I think Damien in this movie is more of a background character. He stands around in the background, and you can just witness, just by looking at Damien, you can just really experience that he's not a normal child. He's almost a son of Satan. You could just see that creepy and evilness about him just by looking at him, and that what made people go insane because of this movie. As anyone saw Damien and stared at him right in the face, they saw that evil, devilish feeling about Satan in him. And then Robert Thorne in the movie experienced that his son Damien is actually the son of Satan, and it's absolutely horrifying just to see the journey of Gregory Peck's character Robert Thorne experiencing that Damien is this horrifying son of Satan, and he wants to kill Damien because of who he is. And there's a lot of background with religion, horror, God versus Satan, the battle of opposites. There's a lot of elements within this movie that makes this movie so awesome, and that's the reason why I actually now get into horror movies. And I think The Omen is a classic example of an old school horror movie. It's really, really fantastic. Great golden horror that anybody should watch. The story itself is based around on a series storyline that Robert Thorne has adopted a child, but they don't realise that this child is actually more evil and sinister, and then suddenly turns out to be the son of Satan, and they realise that the Catherine Thorne is actually pregnant, and then they're gonna have another baby. But then, since Damien is that son of Satan, he plans to kill that baby that's about to be born, as well as with Catherine Thorne and Robert Thorne as well. So you can just see that Damien, he plays a very much innocent child in this movie. He doesn't really act more of a very sinister threat. He very much plays as a normal standard innocent child would play. But then he does some very sinister moments in the movie, which I'm not going to spoil for you, but he's really, really good in this. And I think the writing is absolutely spot on by David Snitschka. I think his name's pronounced. I can't really pronounce his second name. Apologies if I miscalculated his pronunciation. However, I think that the story itself plays a lot with the atmosphere, the tension, and the suspension of this movie. There's a lot of gory, but also there's a lot of, you know, darkness with this movie. But also this movie does one thing to everyone. It creates fear, that everybody sort of question themselves whether Satan truly exists. And it's a movie that definitely played on people's mind at the time in 1976, where people actually questioned each other whether Satan is truly real, whether these events could actually happen. And there were some amazing death scenes in this movie, and I think the effects at the time were absolutely amazing. And there is one actor who I said I would get to, and I would never think I would ever get round to watch The Omen. I would never thought I was ever going to be interested in it. But then I saw one actor's name in the credits just before the movie actually started, and I was so shocked and so amazed of how I did not even know he was in this movie. I'm talking about the one, the only, Patrick Troughton, who plays the second Doctor in Doctor Who. Yes, Patrick Troughton appears in The Omen, and my word, just one word of advice. If you ever want to see Park Ji-won in anything besides Doctor Who, watch The Omen. The Omen is fantastic, and his performance in The Omen is truly amazing. He definitely plays a very much worried kind of priest. He plays the priest, but then suddenly something happens to him and all of the blame gets thrown on him because he talks trash in sometimes, but what he speaks is the truth, and he becomes that kind of mysterious, kind of questionable character, whether you can pick out what he's going to try and say next. But there are a lot of moments where there's a death scene, and then it takes a few scenes until you can really soak it all in of what's already happened. It very much starts as a slow kind of tempo, kind of momentum of the movie. It starts off very, very slow and then starts to build momentum as it goes into the second half, and then more of the scary, intense stuff happens, and most of the other moments at the final moments of the movie becomes really, really horrifying. And this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love The Omen to bits. Just because watching it for the first time, I've now realised the truth. I really, really love The Omen a lot, and I really, really want to experience more of The Omen by watching all of the other movies, and hopefully I will review some soon. But if I can't review any more of these movies, then I'm glad that I have reviewed The Omen, because the original is absolutely amazing, and I really hope that all of the other movies themselves are really, really good as well. Now, there are some little bits at the bottom which I'm going to read to you guys, and it's actually from a verse in Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, and his number is 666. Now, I think in the movie they mentioned about the number 6 is the number of Satan, and is Satan's favourite number, and in the movie they realise that Gregory Peck's character, Robert Thorne, in the final moments of the movie, he actually has a look on, you know, his son Damien, or supposed to be son Damien, as he's an adopted child, and then he had a look underneath the hair and saw the 666, and then he realised the truth, and that his son Damien is truly enough the son of Satan. And what this movie definitely does, it plays a lot around with fear, but also question people about the battle of opposites, whether good can overcome evil, and can evil overcome good. Like, there's a load of those debates whether this movie can present good in some way, but it definitely presents a lot of evilness in this movie. And just a spoiler alert, evil actually triumphs in this movie, not like any other movie that would do a normal happy ending in the end. In this movie, what actually makes this movie so awesome is that in the end, evil wins. And that definitely creates a lot of fear, but also it sends shivers down people's spine, because they now truly realise that what's already happening might actually happen in the real world. Because if evil does prevail over good, then evil will rule supreme, and therefore Satan might even rule God. But we don't know that for sure. We don't know whether good can overcome evil or whether evil can overcome good. But it's definitely much like in this movie, it's the battle between Christ and the Antichrist. Now, if you don't know what an Antichrist is, basically you've got Christ, who is Jesus, but also you've got the Antichrist, who is the son of Satan. So you've basically got these two massive powers of the world. You've got God and you've got Satan attacking each other or versing each other, but also you've got Christ and Antichrist playing around in this movie. There's a lot of haunting moments, but also it's a very powerful storyline, brilliant writing by David Snitchka. Again, can't pronounce what his name's called, but the actors in this and the actresses are really, really fantastic. But really, the entire movie itself is really well paced out. It's not slow. I would say it's slow in paces. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. I think the slowness does really have a big massive effect on the movie. I think when you add slowness to a movie, you don't really want to add so much slowness as it really drags out the movie. But the story is very, very slow. It does drag out, but it does build up to that momentum, to that anticlimax kind of moment. So it's exciting, horrific moments where a death scene's going to happen or something else going to happen that really surprises you and actually shocks you and scares you. That's what this movie does absolutely sensationally well. And I think this movie, The Omen, is such a fantastic, awesome movie. And I just really cannot wait to watch all of the other movies of this box set. I know this is not my own copy of The Omen. My head chef lent it to me, but I hope that he could even lend it to me a couple of times so I'll be able to watch a few of these. But for my first time ever reviewing a horror movie, The Omen, I think it's an absolutely amazing horror movie, which I'll give a rating out of 10, a 9 out of 10. It's a really fantastic horror movie, and there is also a little bit at the back of this box set. From the eternal sea he rises, creating armies on either shore, turning man against his brother until man exists no more. That quote appears in most of the movie. You'll definitely hear a lot of these quotes being repeated over and over again in the movie, but there is a lot of brilliance within this movie. The horror is absolutely golden in this, and I would probably get to the second movie, Damien, and maybe the third one called The Final Conflict, but also there's a fourth one called The Awakening, and then there's the 30th anniversary special in 2006, The Omen. And so I'll probably get to maybe reviewing those, but really, if you really want me to. I wasn't actually going to really enjoy this movie a lot at first. I thought I was going to really not enjoy it as much. I thought I was going to get shocked and be afraid and scared about it, but although I was scared in a good way, because it made me truly excited and truly intrigued for the next movie, where in the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you need to definitely pick up this box set. If you definitely are intrigued to old school horror, then The Omen is a highly regarded film as one of the best horror movies within the 1970s, and it definitely made people so afraid, and many people had so many fears of this movie, and I think it definitely truly plays around with fear, horror, and it's absolutely a sensational movie that anybody who is interested in horror should definitely watch. And anyway guys, that is my review on The Omen, the original movie, The Omen. I hope you have enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like on this video, and remember to please comment down below and tell me your thoughts on The Omen. Have you ever seen The Omen? What are your best bits about The Omen? Make sure you do comment down below, because I'm really interested to hear your opinions about this awesome movie. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much guys for watching for this video, and I will see you guys next time for another review, or I may do a very short video, as in a couple of days time I will be going on holiday, so I may do another video around that scenario another time. But anyway guys, thank you very much guys for watching for this review, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Until then guys, see you guys later.